Hola amigos, I hope everybody's having a fantastic Thursday. I am out and about. I'm walking on the beautiful lakefront here in Chicago. Not too far, it's like midway between my school and my house. So I decided to pull over and get my extra 14 minutes because my goal is to do 30 minutes of activity today. I think it was 25, but I bumped it up to 30. So I want to talk to you all about hybrid learning, and I am definitely late to the game. So I know a lot of you have been doing hybrid learning since the beginning of the school year. A lot of you have told me, oh my gosh, it's horrible. And like my first week went pretty well. It wasn't as bad, but one of the things I realized is that with each day, it's like the hybrid system was like some sort of like a vampire and just sucking my blood and sucking my energy. And I just woke up today and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't feel like going to work. I just was in such a bad place mentally, and I was like just fighting it. And I just kind of kept, telling myself, okay, you can do this. It was one of those days where I was like, okay, just get to the car with your bag, and that's all you have to do right now. And then in the car, I was just like, just drive to the expressway and you'll be fine. Like seriously, I had one of those days. And it's just because I'm so psychologically drained. Like the whole like hybrid thing, it's not, and it's so funny because the first week it went so well that I was like, wow, a lot of people, have been telling me that this is just so horrible. And not that I didn't believe them, because I did. I knew it was coming, but I was trying to like as a detective, I was like, what part of this, like what about this? And I get it. It is just like, it's just having so many tabs open, and it's like your battery is running down. You have all these tabs open and you're not plugged into your power source. And so that's just how I've been feeling. I've just been so drained. I was going to take off tomorrow, but the clerk was like, so many people are taking off tomorrow. So I was like, okay. I was like, the clerk, I love her. She is like such a good friend, and she's like the best. She's a beautiful person. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to make her life harder. So I'm not going to take my mental health day tomorrow. And I do feel better, honestly, because I know some people could be like, no, you have to think about yourself. I do feel better. And I'm going to tell you why I feel better in just a second, because I did something that I reconfigured the group dynamic in class today. And I was like, okay, this is how we're teaching from now on. This is what works. So yeah, I've just been very, very exhausted. Now, this is what I did today that was different from how I've been teaching, these past couple of weeks. The past couple of weeks, I've been really trying to, make sure that we were teaching, that the class was like a community. And, I did like activities where like the kids in front of me, they, for Spanish 1, they acted out verbs and the other kids had to guess. And we're kind of going back and forth with conversation, And again, I think on the surface, it didn't really look like it was a lot of work. It didn't look draining, but I think psychologically it was just super draining for me. And so that was really hard. So what I did today was I just kind of split the class, and I didn't do like a hard split, but I was like, okay, I have 90 minutes. So the first 15 minutes of class, we all did our warm-up activity, which was the campanazo. So we did our warm-up activity the first 15 minutes. And then after the first 15 minutes, because I gave them some discussion questions based on the movie, and they were like good, juicy questions, like, like why do we take justice in our own hands? Like what we talked about the ethical dilemmas that lawyers face, and what other professions, might face those type of dilemmas. So it was good. I think the questions were very thought-provoking for level 4, and helped them just to understand like a deeper, human dimension. And we just talked about so many different things. Of course, kids were like, if I'm a lawyer, I would never defend a criminal. And I'm like, okay, well, what if, What if, I was like, criminals pay more money, and what if you really need the money? What if you have a reputation to uphold? We kind of went down the rabbit hole in Spanish, so I was happy about that. But anyway, so I did, first I gave them the campanazo. That was the warm-up activity. After the warm-up activity, I had them, because they had to choose one, and I could have given them 2 questions to choose, but I gave them one, and 15 minutes was enough time in case they need to look up stuff. And then after that, I put them in breakout groups. So that was like another 6 minutes. Now, after the breakout groups, that's when we did the split. So for the split, I worked first with my students in person. And then for the remote students, I actually had them take their break. I said, hey, you guys can take your break, and I'm gonna work with, the students that are in front of me. And what amazing discussion we had. I cannot believe, feel like the sun is not on my side. Okay, maybe this way. I cannot believe how amazing our discussion was today. Like, seriously, I was free to share so many things, and just to really help them frame what I was asking them. And they just really dug deep, and they had so many real life connections. Like, they were connecting things with Kill Bill. It was really nice. So that was the in-person group. And then after that, I worked with the students online, and I gave the students that were in person, I gave them a break. And the other thing too was, I said, if, I told them there was going to be a little bit of downtime. So like the breaks were kind of fluid, depending on in which direction the discussion went. So I told them they should, look on Google Classroom or Gradebook and make sure that they have, all of their work turned in. Okay, so that was, nice. So, and then that was pretty much the class. I really liked that structure. I didn't have a headache after work. I felt like I worked with every student, and everyone felt important. Everyone felt heard. Everyone spoke. Oh, and the best thing, hold on, I gotta tell you the best part. The best part is I do discussion points, and all it is you sharing your opinion and elaborating, giving examples. That's it. I don't grade grammar. And I do some light corrections, but not I'll kind of, some students kept saying justicia instead of justicia. So I was like, okay, who let the dogs out? Justicia, and that was pretty much it. But it was just so much better. So that's what I think I'm going to do moving forward. I am just going to kind of do a few activities, the writing activities or reading activities together. But whenever we do discussion, I'm gonna have to split the class, and I'm gonna figure out, I think with the lessons, I can do the mini lessons and a pop-up grammar. I can do all that together, but everything else is gonna be separate. So that's kind of my workaround with the hybrid, and today went really well, as you can see. So we'll see how it goes from here. Thanks for listening.